Getting set for green here on lap 160 of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Dover, presented by Principal Financial Group.
Okay, the 84 car wasn't blowing up after all. He got this contact from Casey Kane and caused a lot of smoke, and that's what brought this caution out.
A little rub there, and the left rear tire had to come down and pull that fender out, and he has been able to get back on the racetrack. Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, and Greg Biffle, the top 5.
Talk about these restarts. Talk about this at the first part of the race, about how dangerous these restarts can be for these guys, especially the guys in the chase. It's obviously for everybody, but everybody's racing hard here. You got guys in the from the back part of the race that have come in and got tires. A number of the guys from about 20th on back came in.
You saw Marcus Ambrose, a 21 car. He is the first car a lap down in 24th position there, right in front of the 8 and the 24.
He's running pretty good here. He's staying with these leaders. If he can just kind of get right there in that spot and run a few laps and get a caution, he'll get back on the lead lap. They're doing a good job so far.
Whoa,
we got trouble off turn 2 here. Robbie Gordon, turn 3.
And there's the 7 car of Robbie Gordon.
Side damage.
Wow. See, Jamie McMurray just stopped right there.
God, that's too bad.
Yeah, I could tell you that he probably wouldn't just run into the side of him right there.
He doesn't look like he's got a terrible amount of damage.
I believe he's hit it pretty hard there.
Hit it, yeah.
Yeah, he slammed up
Steering wheel's all knocked out of whack.
Steering wheel's knocked out of whack. That means messed up the toe in.
Yeah, it's probably been a lower control arm on the right front.
Pulled back on the right side.
He had such a good run going too.
Man, that's unfortunate.
And it will be a break for the 21 car. Marcus Ambrose, we just mentioned a moment ago, the first car lap down. He will get the free pass, but not a good break for one of our early leaders, Jamie McMurray. Heavy right side damage. Top of your screen.
He was all the way up in the top, and Robbie Gordon, he was obviously trying to pass Robbie, who was a lap down. Robbie got loose and just forced Jamie up in. I hate when these things happen. You know, it was fun being able to talk about Jamie McMurray today and how good he was running.
That's why it stings so much more for Jamie McMurray, because he had such a good run going. And, you know, Robbie Gordon's been tough to pass all day long. It hadn't been quite this tough, but he's been tough all day.
Like Robbie just got out of shape and went right up into the 26 and carried him into the wall.
The problem is he wasn't racing Jamie McMurray.
No, he was a lap down, and he's letting Robbie know.
Well, frustration of Jamie McMurray's part after having the best race car he's probably had in over a year. Now on pit road with some damage on his Ford. Under caution, back in just a moment.
Getting ready to go green here at Dover with Steve Addington, crew chief for Kyle Busch on the 18. We know they've got motor problems. He's talking to his driver right now. Steve, what are the issues and how long does he stay out there?
We're going to run it till it quits, you know. That's all we can do here. Bad luck here. I think it's a valve or something. Mark Cronquist and all them guys in the engine shop, they do an awesome job. Been bulletproof all year long, and just one of those things happened here. Thought we had a good race car. Lost a little track position here in the pits with getting blocked in, but we were coming back there. So trying to finish the season out for Norm Miller and them guys at Interstate Batteries with a good run here, you know, to end their run this season. But we'll get them back.
One of the dominant cars of 2008, guys, is going to have a struggle to get back in this chase now.
They are indeed, Dave, and remarkably, because of back-to-back caution flags the last 7 laps, the 18 car is still on the lead lap. Not sure how long he'll be able to stay there as slow as he's having to run here down the straightaway. Kenseth pulls away by about 6 car lengths over Carl Edwards, who is stuck behind the lap car of Paul Menard. Now he makes the move on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth is able to really get going on these restarts and get himself a little distance between him and Carl Edwards. The car is really, really fast today for Matt Kenseth. See Mark Martin moving by Paul Menard. Jeff Gordon trying to make that same move, and Greg Biffle right there.
Been a good day for Roush Fenway. They've had 4 cars in the top 5 or 6 much of the afternoon. They had 4 in the top 5 in the final practice session on Saturday.
You guys, just thinking, I've got to wonder after last week's events and watching Greg Biffle and how patient he was there, I wonder just how patient he's being right now too. He might not be showing them everything that he's got to run to the end of this race, because we still have 232 laps to go.
Jamie McMurray fans, the 26 car has now officially gone to the garage area after that damage and that slide up into the wall and the contact from the 7 of Robbie Gordon.
See a lot of 2 wide races. We look back, Clint Boyer there having a nice run in the top 10. He's been there for pretty much most of the day. He's up in the 6th spot right now.
Oh,
trouble.
Couple cars sliding up there.
Yeah, the bumper panel just flew off of one of those cars. Looks like Sam Hornish, and now he's in the wall.
Yeah, Hornish slides up and tags the wall. He was sideways in the previous turn.
77, 1 keep her up there, keep her up there. Cut tire or something there, Travis. We're coming to you. Middle of the backstretch now. Got bumper damage coming to you also.
Got sideways in the previous corner, and there were a couple of chase guys underneath him. I think Jimmy Johnson was there and a couple others as he got up. There's the rear bumper cover.
Yeah, that's the reason for the caution. That they didn't throw the caution because the cars banging off each other. This piece of debris went flying. They want to get that picked up.
I think Brian Vickers was sideways off of that car. I don't know if there was contact between those two. We'll have to see as Sam Hornish comes to the pit road. Here's Brian Vickers. You can see the 77. Well, he gets loose right there, and then Vickers coming up. Wow. David Rudeman right there. Nice job of avoiding that.
Harvick was on the bottom of the racetrack. He had to get ready. There goes the bumper cover after the little nudge there and the contact.
Yeah, there is
Jimmy Johnson right in behind him. Watch Jimmy. He said, "Oh, please go up. Please go up."
You're going to go. A lot of action today.
Wow. That's the second one Jimmy Johnson's avoided. He had to avoid the 10 speeding, the 10 car spinning on lap 12. We told you the monster can bite you in a hurry. Now caution number 7 on the day. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. For you Kyle Busch fans, you may want to look away. This could be the push for the 18 car in the garage area that takes him out of the chase for the Sprint Cup here in 2008. They pushed him back up pit road, and there was oil coming from underneath the 18, and some of these crew guys there in Carl Edwards' pits trying to clean up the grease and oil from underneath that car.
And this thing finally let go, and you can see all that oil going right into Kyle Busch's pit stall, and they came through the 99s and then through Jimmy McMurray's pit stall. And they want to get that cleaned up so they get good traction off pit road. That's too bad for this 18 team. They've had such a great season so far.
Another one of the Joe Gibbs cars also having issues. The 11 car, Denny Hamlin, been on and off pit road several times. Let's listen in.
You know, if it stays the same, it may not hurt to put a little bit in. It's just weeping. I mean, everything's a little wet. It's not losing much, but it's wet. 10-4.
Weeping and wet. They're talking about the rear end, right, Tim Brewer?
Yes, sir, Jerry. Hey, the key to keeping this gear cool all day is 1 gallon of lubricant. But the pinion is right here. It goes back through here. We actually have a seal that sits in this area right here. But the key is keeping that gallon of grease in it, keeping the pump, keeping it through the cooler. But, Jerry, it quits leaking when it runs out of oil.
Yeah, that's a bad
That's
sign.
not a good thing. Yeah, we saw that right rear tire that came off of the 11 car, and it was soaked in oil. So they've got a pretty good sized leak in that rear end.
Kyle looking over the damage there as they're looking over the problems with the engine. Steve Addington there. Gosh.
You just have to wonder if maybe they were pushing a little bit on the engine side, trying to make up some of the points and get back in this thing.
You know,
They haven't had many engine problems all year, at least in the points races.
DJ, he was adamant this week in the media center that they weren't going to try to do anything unusual. They had been so good all year long. Why try to panic now? Just climb one race at a time back into the championship picture.
Yeah, and I don't think they did that. I think this is just an unfortunate situation. These guys with Joe Gibbs Racing and their engine department in particular have been so good all year. I don't think that they tried to do anything to make everything up in one race, because you can't do that depending on what the others do. All you can do is go run your race. That's what they were trying to do. Unfortunately, something happened to them today that was really out of their control.
It can be a part failure. It could be a valve spring. Anything could have just had a flaw in it. It just made me wonder if maybe that's what they were doing, but it's just too bad.
Obviously very frustrated, Kyle, knowing that all year they've worked. He talked about they work all year to be able to get in the chase and build up those bonus points with 8 victories. At New Hampshire, the disappointment of a 34th place finish, and now in 2 races in the chase, his championship hopes have basically evaporated.
Yeah, they've probably put themselves in a position that's going to be almost unbelievable that they could come back from.
Under caution for the 7th time a day here at the Monster Mile in Dover. Back with a green flag in a moment.